Namaskar. Today we'll study renal toxicity, the drugs which can cause renal toxicity, and the mechanisms behind renal toxicity. Many drugs like non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors, aminoglycoside antibiotics, sulfonamides, antifungal drugs like amphotericin B, beta-lactam antibiotics, quinolones, vancomycin, many are there which produce renal toxicity. And all these drugs, they produce renal toxicity by 6 mechanisms. 1. Interstitial nephritis. 2. Altered intraglomerular hemodynamics, that is, they change the glomerular filtration rate. 3. Glomerulonephritis. 4. Rhabdomyolysis. 5. Tubular cell toxicity. And 6 is thrombotic microangiopathy. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs are the drugs which produce renal toxicity by these 3 mechanisms, causing interstitial nephritis, altered intraglomerular hemodynamics, and glomerulonephritis. And we will discuss all these 6 mechanisms with few examples. And non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs are renal toxic, produce renal toxicity. They cause altered intraglomerular hemodynamic. They change the glomerular filtration rate. We know the mechanism of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. They inhibit the prostaglandin synthesis, and we know that prostaglandin is a vasodilator, and because of that the blood flow to the glomerulus. So there is afferent arteriole supplying blood to the glomerulus, and then it goes through efferent arteriole, and because of vasodilatation the glomerular filtration rate is decreased. So this is one. Second, there is some inflammatory reactions causing glomerulonephritis, which can cause fibrosis and renal scarring, ultimately leading to nephropathy, and can also initiate allergic responses causing acute interstitial nephritis. So in addition to non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, many other drugs are there which can produce glomerulonephritis, acute interstitial nephritis. So drugs causing glomerulonephritis are gold. So these are causing glomerulonephritis. Interferon alpha, hydralazine, propylthiouracil, these are the drugs which can cause glomerulonephritis. Similarly, drugs like acyclovir, diuretics like loop diuretic, thiazide diuretic, beta-lactam antibiotic like ampicillin, fluoroquinolone like ciprofloxacin, then rifampicin, sulfonamide, vancomycin, indinavir, all these cause acute interstitial nephritis. Similarly, drugs like acetaminophen, aspirin, lithium, cyclosporin, anti-cancer drug like carmostin, shemostin, cisplatin, all these drugs can cause chronic interstitial nephritis. These drugs with tick mark, they can cause crystal nephropathy. They can precipitate in the urine, and they can deposit crystals like acyclovir, beta-lactam antibiotic like ampicillin, ciprofloxacin, indinavir. All these drugs can cause nephropathy because of precipitation of those drugs in the form of crystals. Now we will discuss the ACE inhibitors, angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors. Angiotensin 2 causes vasoconstriction of the efferent arteriole. So we can see here from this structure, the afferent arterial diameter is larger than the efferent arterial, because of which there is a pressure created in the glomerulus, and because of that there is glomerular filtration. And angiotensin 2 causes vasoconstriction of efferent arteriole, and because of that this glomerular filtration occurs. But when we use AC inhibitors or AT1 receptor blockers, this angiotensin 2 mediated vasoconstriction is inhibited, and because of this there will be diminished glomerular filtration, and this causes impairment of renal function, and that leads to proteinuria, acute renal failure, polycystic kidney disease, renal tubular dysfunction. All these we call nephrotic syndrome. Penicillamine also causes nephrotic syndrome. The immunosuppressants like tacrolimus, cyclosporin, they cause vasoconstriction of the afferent arteriole, and because of that also they can change the or alter the glomerular hemodynamics. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs already we have discussed. Then let us discuss the another mechanism, that is your tubular necrosis or tubular cell toxicity, and the drugs here aminoglycoside antibiotics like gentamicin. These aminoglycoside antibiotics bind with lysosomal phospholipids, cause destruction of cell organelles and cell death. So there will be necrosis of the tubule, and that is tubular necrosis or tubular cell toxicity. Many other drugs like amphotericin B, the anti-HIV drugs like adofovir, cidofovir, tenofovir, radiocontrastase, zoledronate, pentamidine, foscarnet, cisplatin, all these drugs show renal toxicity by this mechanism. Then another mechanism is rhabdomyolysis. Rhabdomyolysis is nothing but your skeletal muscle injury and the release of intracellular contents from the skeletal muscle into the blood, and there is a release of myoglobin, creatine kinase into the blood, and this myoglobin causes renal injury, tubular obstruction, alteration of glomerular filtration rate, and many drugs which cause rhabdomyolysis followed by renal toxicity. Antidepressants like amitriptyline, fluoxetine, lithium, antihistamines like diphenhydramine, doxylamine, benzodiazepines, cocaine, methamphetamine, ketamine, haloperidol, these lipid lowering drugs, statins, all these cause rhabdomyolysis followed by renal toxicity. The final mechanism of renal toxicity, that is thrombotic microangiopathy. So the microcirculation, the capillaries, there will be platelet thrombin in the microcirculation, which cause organ damage or kidney, including kidney injury, and many drugs are there which can cause this deposition of thrombin. So thrombotic microangiopathy occurs. Because of that there will be damage to the organ including kidney. Quinine, mitomycin C, the anti-cancer drug, the anti-cancer antibiotic, then the antiplatelet drugs like clopidogrel, ticlopidine, the immunosuppressant cyclosporin, all these drugs show renal toxicity by thrombotic microangiopathy. So cyclosporin is showing a number of mechanisms to produce renal toxicity. So this is all about renal toxicity and the drugs producing renal toxicity. Thank you.